Okay, hi everyone. I'm going to show you guys how to create a background. It'll be completely vectorized, and meaning that you're creating it in Adobe Animate, and then you can change the size of it, or change the size of objects within it. So I'm taking this vector reference, and I'm going to put this out on Blackboard after I'm done. So you guys will have all the images to use to create this desert background. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to lock up. I've got 5 layers here. I've got a reference, which is this. I can turn that on and off. Okay, and then I have a sky, which I'm going to create mountains, midground, excuse me, and foreground. Okay, so let's work on the sky first. So what I'm going to do is make sure that this is positioned where I want it. Okay, so you'll notice that that white rectangle is our stage, so that's what's going to show up on our animation. But let's create this. All right, so I'm locking up everything except the sky background. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to my toolbox. I'm going to go to rectangle tool, and I'm going to create this box like this. I'm going to get rid of that outline, that red outline I have. Now it may not be red. Your stroke color might be black, and your paint color might be something else. But right now I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to move it off to the side. But I want to get this color here. So I'm going to use my toolbox and use my eyedrop tool, and I'm going to pick that color off here, okay? And what we're going to do is create this radial gradient. So it looks like this sun is kind of off stage, so you really don't see it, but you can see the glow. And then over here is where you see less of the sun's rays, and so it's like that. So it's that color. So that color, and then this color. Okay, so I'm going to go to radial gradient, okay, and I'm going to pick one color, which is way over here, and you'll see what I mean, okay. Then go over to this other box here and put your cursor over it and double click and click the glow color. So now you've got these colors. Okay, I'm going to do that again. All right, so I go over to, I pick one of these. Okay, I'm in the color window. If it's not open, then go to Windows, Color. All right, so then I'm going to double click on this little, you got 2 icons down here. I'm going to double click on this one, and I'm going to pick that color, and I'm going to double click on that one and pick that color. All right, so that's my radial gradient. Now I'm going to go over to, I'm going to move this out of the way for now, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to actually make, whoops, okay. Let's undo that. Okay, I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to change the size of it. Move my anchor point up here, and that's good. All right. Okay. So now let's. I close that window, color window. I'm going to open that again. Okay. I'm going to go here, and up here in the color window, you see an arrow. It says solid color, none, solid color, linear gradient, radial gradient, bitmap. I'm going to pick radial gradient. Okay, and you'll see we got that kind of a sun glow, but I want it over to the kind of upper left. So I'm just going to go to my fill color. All right, and I'm going to bring it over here and go like that. And I can put it down here, I can put it here, I can put it here. Now, it's kind of making a glow. The glow is kind of large. I make that glow a little smaller. So I go to the color window, and I take this color that I have, that I got from the right side of the image, and I'm going to move it over to here. So then I'm going to do this, and then click again, and maybe do it a little bit more, and it allows you to kind of make that glow. See what I mean? You've got, okay, so. And I'm going to bring it over here a little bit more. And there, how's that? Okay. And then I select it, and I'm going to hit Control G, group it, and then there's my sky. Okay? All right. So now we can change that. We can go Edit Select, and then use my cursor over here and say, okay. All right. So now we've done the sky. That's how you do that. Okay. I'm going to move that sky over here for now. So let's lock that layer. Now let's work on the mountains. Okay, so the mountains are all going to be all kind of one color. And what you do is, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to use my, first of all, I'm going to change that color. I'm going to use my eyedropper and just pick the color of the mountains. And you'll see that you've got this color here. All right, so those are going to be my mountains. And then I'm going to take that stroke color, I'm going to make it black. And now I'm going to start just copying the shape of that, of the mountains. Okay, so I'm just kind of like going like this. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to bend it. Okay, make sure go up to view, make sure snap to objects is on, so that way each line you create snaps to the other line. So I'm going to do this kind of quickly. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's exact. I'm just going to do this very quickly, but you'll get the idea of how to basically copy something. Now again, once you learn how to copy it, then you can create your own mountains. You'll know how to just create something with the line tool, and then go up here. Create something with the line tool, and then you can create your own mountains and your own sky color and gradient if you want to do that. And so I'm just okay, so doing this very quickly, but you get the idea that once you learn how to just copy something, then you can go and create your own. All right, so it's like when I was an illustration student, we learned how to copy the masters, meaning Rembrandt and all these great artists, the Da Vinci, and we learned how to draw like they did by copying their work. But once we learned how to do that, then we were able to go and create something of our own. So this is the same kind of a thing. You learn how to do this by copying what someone else has done, and then saying, okay, now I can create something of my own. So that's what this purpose of this assignment. This is going to be assignment 4. And then I'm going to give you guys a couple assignments in the second half of this of our class, because I want you guys to really focus on your project, and because that's what your final grade is going to be mostly on. So while you're also doing this assignment, I would like you guys to also continue working on your all your parts of your projects, your designs, um, and your designs of your character and your designs of um, your obstacles and backgrounds and etc. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, and then what we're going to do is um, I'm going to just draw a line down like that and connect it over like that and draw it up and connect it like that. So now if I double click on that line, I select all these. And the reason I can able to do that is because I go to view and snapping, it snaps to objects. Okay, so now I've got that, and then I use my fill tool, and there we go. And then I get rid of that line, so the black line. So I double click, hit delete, and there's my mountains. Okay, so click on the mountains, Control G, group it. Okay, so there we go. There's our mountains. All right, now let's do the midground. The midground is that orange color. Okay, let's make that first, and then we'll add some rocks in the background and stuff. All right, so let's go to midground. Lock every layer except midground, and I'm just going to draw this line straight out. I'm just going to draw it straight out for now. Okay. Again, what I'm showing you is something that you guys can then work on, and you know, something that you guys can work on and create something unique to your own stuff. I'm going to change the lines here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to change the lines so you guys can see it better. I'm going to just make that red. Doesn't matter what color it is, but now you can, whoops, let's make it green. Oh, okay, so I'm just making it green so you guys can see it. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to connect the lines. I now have a new color, and I'm going to fill it and then get rid of my lines. Okay, double click, Control G, and there it is. So then I've got that, right? And then I move my mountains back to where I wanted them, and okay. All right, and then I'll move my sky back in. Oh, shoot, there we go. And you see how we're creating this desert scene, okay? And then if I turn off the reference, there's our desert scene so far. Now you can probably add some mountains in the back here, unless the mountains come down into this, flat desert part of the scene. But to leave it at that, you guys can change it if you want. Okay, so let's turn the reference back on, and I'm going to select everything that we did and just move it over to the side. So now let's look at the foreground. So let's go down here, make sure you lock all the layers except the foreground. And okay, so now I'm going to create this other. Okay, I can zoom in. I like to work larger. It allows me, I don't know, I just like to draw larger, and I like to work larger when we do this stuff. I feel like I have more control over what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. All right, so now I'm creating the foreground. All right, so this is going to be assignment 4. I'm going to have you guys do this just so that you can learn how to take an image. Now you could do this if it was a photograph. Okay, this particular image I just got off a place called Vector Stock. It's a cartoon image of a desert, and but you guys can actually take a photograph and then create an image, that's more of cartoonish. All right, so I'm showing you guys how to create a vectorized background of a desert, and then so I'm going to break this assignment into 2 videos, so I can upload a shorter tutorial. Anyway, I'll finish this part and then I'll upload it, and then you guys can get a start. And then the next video will be using the same file and continue to make a little bit more detailed obstacles, like rock formations and stuff like that. So let's go. It's there. Okay, so there's my foreground, and then I just bring my lines down here and bring it up here, and I'm going to get the color of this background, which is going to be, that's going to be, make sure I get a nice, all right, so let's do that, and I'm going to fill it, and double click to get that line out of there, and let's see, let's bring all this stuff back. I'm unlocking my layers. Okay. Oh, Control G to group it. The reason to do that is so that it's just easier to move around. And all right, so let's lock the reference. But you'll notice it doesn't connect from the midground to the foreground, so I'm just going to go to the midground, and I'm going to select it, okay, go to free transform, move my anchor point up to here, and then drag it down. So there we have, and then go over to the right here, where you'll see that right now I've got 50%, and then I'm going to go and clip contents outside the stage, and there is the beginning of our desert scene. Okay, so and my mountains are a little bit too high, so I'm going to go and make sure the mountains are, move it down a little bit, and then I could also stretch the mountains a little bit that way. Okay, there is the beginning of our desert scene. Now the next video is going to show you how to put little rocks here to give it a little bit more depth and interest, make it a little more interesting, and then we're going to put in some rock formations, and then that will be a desert scene that you can create. Again, you can create different scenes, like you can create a cityscape, you can create a forest or a meadow with some trees and plants, and I can show you guys how to do that as well. But this will be assignment 4, and I will end this video, upload it, and then you guys can start on it, and then the second video will show you how to finish it. All right, so that's it, and I will see you on the other side.